Register? Hmm. Register? Registrar. Let's get into it. Shall we? What's going on, guys? It is the Wolf. Once again, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Remember, guys, the things I say here may hurt your feelings. As I was brought up on somebody did not have too many feelings and got my feelings hurt, I don't care. The truth is the truth. Now, some of this may be my perspective, and you're entitled to your own opinion, and that's fine. But your feelings don't change the truth. And through all of these things, there are ultimate truths. Let's get into it. Now, I just made a video about if you can name it, you can define it. And if you can define it, you can define the name and the term of the thing. Now, if this is your first time watching my videos, God help you. You should probably run now and listen to the lawyers and agents and AIs, oh my, that, are trying to keep me from getting the truth out because this isn't for the faint of heart or the soft minded or the lily livered or the huckleberries or the traitors and the treasonous individuals and the turncoats and the house niggas out there who don't like me but want to be just like me. This is for people who are freedom loving, American loving, truth, patriots, patriotical individuals, private persons, not slaves. This is for all the people out there who've wondered, why am I paying taxes on my house, car, kids, my own ass, the toilet paper I use to wipe my ass, the food I'm buying, my paycheck, all that stuff? Why is my name in all caps? How come I'm driving a nice car and I get bothered by a police officer? Not all police officers are bad, and we do not condone any negative actions towards any of them, not even the bad ones. Go after them politically, financially. Go after their stuff, the bad ones. The good ones better get it right. And I know some of them do because they watch my channel. And thank you guys for reaching out. If you guys also haven't seen my other video, my name was mentioned in over 2,671 legal documents in an accredited school by people writing their papers based on my work, which was just learning the secrets of this public maritime jurisdiction. Must be doing something right. When I've got people who know agents, federal agents out there who are like, oh yeah, we know who Mr. Lovett is. Federal judges going, yeah, we know who Mr. Lovett is. I didn't set out for this. Y'all didn't want to listen to me when I was talking about businesses and personal relationships. You don't want to hear on that, which by the way, I still do that on YouTube, my other channel, Badwolf Unrestricted. So join me over there if you want some fun stuff. Because I get to talk sassy over there. But let's get into it. As always, guys, Black Site 32 is my only main site, and the other only main site is James C. Lovett. James C. Lovett has the conference videos, or I should say the seminar videos. We've got conference videos coming up. You can check those out on Black Site 32. My other social medias can be found there. Donations can be done there. YouTube, you can join the Wolf Pack, go into my main channel, click on the join, support me monthly. And I've got a fire piece of video that's going to be in the VIP only. You guys have been asking for a little something, so I'm going to give you guys a little something over there, but only to the people who've joined. Now, let's get into it. So as always, I got my trusty handy dandy Black's Law Dictionary because we now know, this is the newest one. Thank you, Brian A. Garner. You should really reach out to me sometime so we can talk. Just saying. But we now know that they use primarily this book, and this book, though it is not 100% commercial maritime, it is primarily. It does have some constitutional terms, but these terms in here are different than a majority of the ones in Webster's, the American dictionary. So then this, though in the American family, is not intrinsically an American dictionary. It's a legal dictionary because they're primarily doing legal things in court, and legal is different than lawful. Lawful is the Constitution for the United States of America. God bless America. Legal is the corporation, the United States, the 50 states, the for profit versions, the state ofs, and their territories, places they've taken over, which are sometimes invisible overlays over the American land. Like if there's California state, and those would be the republic, which are Californians, then there's also something called state of California with its U.S. citizens, which are the land and the people down here. And the people down here, the Californians, being taken and registered, regarded, placed into members then of the state of California, live in the exact same area, two different jurisdictions, one under the Constitution and one in the different, the states, the corporate Constitution. Let's get into it. So after I made that other video recently, I decided to go back in and see if there's other register words to look up. So once again, I haven't done this in a couple of years, but let's go through the dictionary, shall we? See what we can find. All right. Where's my magnifying glass? I want to look all nerd and intelligent and shit. I want to look as intelligent as they say I am in my public file. All right. So that's actually a whole lot worse. All right. So one of the first words I came up with to look up is registrar. For those people who don't know what that is the person who takes your private birth documents and records, okay, with your county. And there's also the state, they have theirs who takes them as well. And that is someone who keeps official records, especially a school who maintains an academic or enrollment records. Okay. Registrant, someone who registers, one who registers something for the purpose of securing a right or privilege granted by law upon official registration. Mm-hmm. So, in one way, your county is bringing you in as a national, but the state of California, state of Wisconsin, state of Florida, state of Rhode Island, they're bringing you in under the fact that they can do it by law as a U.S. citizen, subject to their jurisdiction. Whereas the other ones you're born with, natural and free, 8 USC 1401 A, Cornell Law EDU. You've got two things going on here. You have two different identities, like I made in that video. How can I prove it? But Wolf, well, I gave you the first code, 8 USC 1401 A, Cornell Law EDU. Look it up, Buttercup. But here's the key thing. It doesn't really properly separate those. Now the chat tried to throw me off by saying, well, that doesn't have there's not a statute for that. There is. Well, I say a federal code. Statutes are for the legal system. Where see the legal system is that which the government gave the ability to be their own government, but they're not the prime. They're not the original. They're nisi prius. They're lower. They're less than. They're the franchise, not the franchise, not the creators thereof. So let's look up registry. Let me mark these in yellow so I know that I've done videos on these words. Ah, ooh, messed up my shoulder. Oof. Mm. Be careful how you lift. You guys know what I'm talking about. Mm. All right. So, registry, a place where info. Now, mind you, in the last reading here, they use the word official. So, remind me to look up the word official because they use words that all circle jerk. If you guys don't know what a circle jerk is, well, it means you've got a clean mind, and you haven't been out in the streets doing wild stuff. Some of us have. So they use words to say, oh, an official listing, blah, 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 of what the registry is. Now, by law, the definition of a word, the word cannot define itself later on in the definition. Okay. Them's the rules. But they'll use words like official. They keep popping up the word official. So we'll get to that. So registry. The word registry means a place where information used by an organization is kept, the official records, once again, official, and lists. The legal government, okay, not the lawful government, the legal government building where one can get married. Well, that's going to be the state. So they're saying here that the legal government, not the lawful, not the real law, but approved by the lawful side. And these people created a legal, a doppelganger, a mock version, the next best thing. You wanted the bad wolf, but you got the the non-wolf on YouTube. And now you got a case and some other bad stuff. So they created a legal version of the government, a legal government. They have the right to do so by the government, which is the lawful government. They handed the power down. So who has the real power? Not the states, the government. But guess who gave the government power? We, the people. So we're the real power. We could shut the whole government down and make them create a new one or create a new one ourselves if everybody or damn near everybody was on, or enough of people were on board and wanted that. Y'all keep talking about Nasera Jacera the way you want it. Y'all ain't making it happen. They're just trustees. The people would have to organize, but that's why they're not losing any sleep. By the way, hit that bell, like, and subscribe. Double check to make sure you are subscribed because some funny things have been happening over here. A building where one can get married and where births and deaths are officially, there's that word again, recorded. Also officially registered. Registration, see probate judge. So the judge has something to do with you being registered. Register, also. Five, maritime law. Oh, I'm sorry, what? So why is maritime law in conjunction with the word registry? So that means every time you're getting registered, you register something, you're in their registry, it's connected to maritime law, and so are judges. And well, let's see what else it says. It's a list or record of ships subject to particular countries' maritime regulations. Like your vehicle, your motor vehicle is considered a water vessel and it's registered. A ship is listed under the nationality of the flag it flies, which are your plates. They made a mock version of everything in the private, savage world authentication, authentic world. They made their version of it. Says see certificate of registration, certificate of ships, enrollment of vessels under enrollment. Regulate, to control an activity or process. So guess what? Regulations and registrate, they all are connected because when you register something, you can be regulated, which means to control the activity. Most of the places where they can control your activity is the public maritime commercial jurisdiction. Now, understand, some people didn't know this, and I did put this in my um, jamesclovett.com website court learning videos. The courts can operate in statutory or common law. The states can operate under statutory and constitutional law. They don't really dabble in common law, but they have to, but they generally don't. The state usually looks at statutory, their codes, and they leave they though they have their constitution, which is an allegiance to the constitution, they generally don't look over there. They do their own thing for their own members, which are 14th Amendment U.S. citizens. That's what laws, their statute laws, are based on that we, the average person, follows every day. Those are not for us. Doesn't mean you can break the law. The courts, they operate in their statutory laws, rules, operations for bar members, 14th Amendment U.S. citizens, trustees, public persons, private persons, not private citizens. Private persons are theirs. There's two sets of laws. There's two sets of things going on. There's two different jurisdictions, and there's two versions of you, and you have two identities. So right here where it says REG, which can stand for register, but also for regulate, is two words. So REG is regulation and register. Those two things are synonymous. So when you register, you're being regulated. You're joining a group, a membership, or a whatever, and now you are subject to their terms. You've lost complete control over your item. Doesn't mean they own the item or you per se, but you've given them enough jurisdiction over you that you cannot just do what you want to do with you or the thing. That's a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. Now, some people have told me in older versions to register, or yeah, to register means to render on to the king, or to give the owner or to give the thing to the owner, or in this case to the city or to the state, which makes sense. It's not in this newer version under the definitions, but I also have the older version, so it might be in there as well. Okay, so now I want to look up, I doubt the word will be in here, but gister, because it's register. So what is to gister? Okay, girth. I mean, it is right there. Anyway, guisement is the closest. Okay, now we got a couple. So guisement, law, French, archaic, sea adjustment. Okay. Geyser, to lie. So to register, to reg, to record, and to geister is to lie. You're lying about the recording. It's a form of a lie. It's an adjustment in a lie, is what to register means. To be capable of being brought as a suit in court because they can't have a lawsuit against a living person in commercial court. So they're conforming your given private name into a legal name, converting you, recording your name that is now a member, converting that name into a member, capitis dimitio maxima, reducing your name, minimizing your rights, taking away them to the maximum, which is a lie on your person, your living being, turning you into a person, a corporation, association, organization, that which can be brought into court as a member of theirs, the bar, as a trustee, 14th Amendment, public person, private person, even, to appear in such phrases, assez neges non, this is French, when a assin does not lie, the action being brought, les actions bien juste, the action being brought against. So gist is to be against, and it's also to lie. The action well lies. And juste en le boucher, it lies in the mouth. And cette action juste, this action lies. To register something is to bring something into it under a lie. Makes sense. Okay, so to gist, GIST, the next variant of the word, the ground or essence of a legal action. So to register you is to record and to gister you, to be made a part of or to be brought in so that a legal action can be taken against the gist of the crime, the main point. She skimmed the brief to get the gist of it. This noun derives from the law French verb geyser, to lie. See geyser. What? Hot damn. I'll take another sandwich with spam. So to register is to make a lie of a recording or to record a lie, to convert you into essentially a member, a non-living being, the straw man, nom de gore, Latin for war name, public transmitting utility, legal person, a term of art. It's to lie. To register something is to you, either knowingly or unknowingly, be a part of lying on your real living self. It's a game. They brought you into their game and you're a member, and it's a lie. You've been brought into the dead world. Ain't that a bitch? Adjustments and official. So I want to look at those two. Adjustments. Okay, a gist. They said it was connected to the part of register, the word. So a gist to allow animals to graze on one's pasture for a fee. Can't make this up. So you mean to tell me that to register, to register, to allow animals to adjust, part of adjust register is to allow animals to graze on one's pasture for free. So you mean to tell me that the city, the state, when plugging into their jurisdiction, they're regarding us as animals grazing in their pasture and they're charging us a fee. I told you guys this all comes from symbology. All I'm gonna say is this: a lot of you guys are getting knowledge from people who ain't showing you the math. Math ain't mathing. They ain't showing you the work. A lot of you guys are against the wrong people out there because you guys don't overstand what's going on. You're understanding by listening to other people. You're not overstanding what's really going on. I'm just not afraid to say it. But once again, follow me on my other YouTube channel, Badwolf Unrestricted. Let's keep going. A gister, a gister, to register, to a gister, someone who takes and pastures grazing animals for a fee, a person engaged in the business of adjustment. An adjuster is a type of bailee for hire, also spelled adjustor. Also see geist taker. Engaged in business is a commercial term. So to register something is engaged in business. And the law states that any government, municipality, etc., that's engaged in business, even if they call themselves a government, is nothing more than a business. Oops, gem drop. Adjustment, a bailment in which a person for a fee. So the fee here, guys, is them taxing us on our houses because they consider our houses, if you have a house, the tax is there to be the fee for you, the grazing animal. Your house is the grazing animal. They're charging you a fucking fee like you're a goddamn animal. It's a membership fee because you've brought your property, your house, and your land to them. You registered it. We now know what all that means. So they're charging you a fee. Chew on, animal, because they think that your house is being used for the public. It's not. That's a scam. That's coercion. That's a federal lawsuit. Get your money back. The taking in of cattle or other livestock to feed a per animal rate, a charge levied on the owner or occupier of the land. A charge levied on the owner, they don't look at you as the owner, or occupier of the land. That's why when you buy a house, it calls you the what? Tenant or occupant. Because the city wants to say that they basically own it now. It's been registered, re-given to them. So then it's called situs, meaning property of the city. Also termed geisements. I mean, I knew it. I just never actually read it. Geist taker and then official. Geist taker. Okay. See if we can find Geist. Oh, we did. Okay, Geist taker is just it says C adjuster. We were just there. Archaic. See, once again, that's that circle jerk. Geist taker, see adjuster. Adjuster, see Geist taker. So now we know what register means. So let's see what official is. I know we kind of already did that in one of them. Okay. Official. Someone who holds or is invested with a public office. A person elected or appointed to carry out some portion of a government's sovereign powers, also termed official, public official, who is a legal official. Uh, who might now seem like a question with one obvious answer, but there's little agreement about it among theorists. In part, this is because the definition can be manipulated like other variables in the theory to provide more or less support for different theories about the law. One authorized to act for a corporation or organization in subordinate capacity. Police official, subordinate capacity. Subordinate to who? Well, obviously to their COs or commanding officers. Commanding officers see it, subordinate to the chief of police to the board members to the state to the government, government to the people, depending on which capacity you're in. Well, that didn't give me any juice. So let's see what office means. Remember, we're only looking at the newest one. There's probably way more juice in the old versions because we know that it means public officer, trustee, subject of the people. Office. Here we go. A position of duty, trust. These people are public trustees because the United States is held in trust. They are the public officers of that trust. They answer to the grantors, the creators, and the beneficiaries. If they're the trustee, they can't be the beneficiary. Then they're in breach of the trust. Isn't that right, Mr. Judge, Mr. Magistrate, Mr. Public Defender, Mr. Prosecutor? Right? Or authority. especially one conferred by a governmental, doesn't say the government, just governmental. I mean, hell, I'm a governmental authority for public purpose. Oh, so somebody who's got the duty of being in the trust, they have authority conferred by some governmental authority for public purpose. Ooh. So then why do they treat the public like shit? Because you're in your private person capacity as a 14th Amendment US citizen, which is their animal, and not as their boss in your public citizen, national, state citizen, non-resident, foreign national, national of the United States, born rights, inalienable capacity. Two, a division of the US government ranking immediately below the Patent Trademark Office. Three, a place where business is conducted or services are performed, i.e., a law office. Hmm. So you're saying everywhere where they're saying it's an office or it's official, it's a law office? In a sense. Ah, there it is. Nice catch there. I didn't see the last part. In a sense. So every place that's called an office or official, it's a either the government or a given powers from the government, and it's a type of law office in a sense, which means if they're not doing the law, the real government, then they're doing something legal. It's a legal office. An office may be a building, a suite, rooms, building, individual room within a building or suite. Context usually clarifies the precise sense. Well, my fellow filthy animals, so it's like your straw man is the filthy animal, and you are the caretaker of it, being charged a fee because your name, your all caps name, the straw man on the state level and lower, not the government, unless so rendered upon them. Your name is the filthy animal. You are the caretaker for it. And then they charge you a fee for bringing your property to them and giving them control over it. Okay. That's it.